At 80 to 85 now in Norman. This is going to be very close to Highway 9, I-35 in the river. The wind is from the south blowing to the north, so 80 to 85, that can produce a lot of tree damage and a lot of power line damage, so look for power outages down here, very possible. Hey, John, have you seen any power flashes with this wind? Best you can tell, your visibility is really poor. Have you seen any power flashes yet?
It's hard to tell, Mike. It's possible, but there's a lot of lightning. It's almost kind of continuous lightning out here, and the heavy rain was so hard that it was really hard to tell. I don't know if I've seen any power flashes at this time. And now we're kind of in a little lull right now. The rain is kind of backed off, and the winds are lighter right now. So maybe the worst of this is just the first 10 minutes as it moves on through. So we're going to go jump on Highway 9 and go east and see what we can see. Back to you.
Okay, John, nice job. Let's go back over to Max 1. So we have several things going on here. This is 80 to 85 going right through the Norman campus, now right over Max Westheimer in downtown Norman. South wind blowing to the north, so stay away from your windows on the south side. This is serious wind. It'll be up over Indian Hill and then up into South Moore here very, very quickly as it lifts to the north. And still a possible tornado looking quite possible immediately southwest of Riverwind here by less than a mile. Very, very close to Riverwind. There's the parking lot at the Riverwind right there. And that's some intense indication there of a tornado just to the southwest of the Riverwind Casino. So let's go ahead and go back over to Max 3. Again, damaging winds here, 80 to 85 miles per hour. Lifting to the north, ongoing tornado warning, so stay away from windows and interior closet or bathroom, storm cellar or basement. This tornado warning does include up into Moore. And that possible tornado still there, very close to Riverwind and just southwest of the I-35 bridge over the river. So it's lifting to the north, northeast, that little tornado vortex right there. That's the reason for the tornado warning. But this is all widespread damaging winds here, 70 to 85 miles per hour. Let's go to Corey Inman with a quick update. He's also down here tracking this. Corey, with your night vision, what do you see?
Yeah, Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I-35 shut down at Maine.
And northbound at Johnson. So I-35 is being shut down by OHP. If you're going southbound, that's at Maine. If you're going northbound, it's being shut down at Johnson. That's just in.
Corey, go ahead. Live update from Corey Inman. Norman.
Sorry, Mike. I'm eastbound out of Purcell. Heavy rain, nickel to quarter size hail. This leading storm that formed out ahead of the line's kind of gotten absorbed by the main storm, and we've kind of got a little notch here just to the north, starting to get some strong southerly winds, about 40 miles an hour, blowing right into that area. So the camera's pointed in there. Haven't been able to see anything because of the tremendous amount of rain, but we're going to continue to trek off to the east over here towards Asher, and then hopefully be able to make it up to Shawnee.
Okay, Corey, thank you very much on that. Let's go back over to Max 1. So looking at velocities here, update on the tornado warning. Still a tornado down here not too far from Riverwind and lots of damaging winds going through Norman, lifting to the north. Let's go over to Max 3 now and take a look here. This is, of course, Norman, Cleveland County here. There's the indication of the tornado there and the activity lifting to the north. Let's go back over to John Slater on this with an update, ground truth here. He's down there in southwest Norman. John, what do you have?
Well, right now we're still down here by the Riverwind Casino. The ramp that gets you back on I-35 to the north is closed. This is something not weather-related, so we can't get back on I-35 north to get over to Highway 9 and go east. So we're trying to navigate our road situation. Well, I can tell you this, the weather has calmed down considerably here. So by looking at the radar, it's a 5-10 minute blast of 70, 80 mile per hour winds, and then it kind of just shuts off. So that's what came through here about 10 minutes ago. We're on the south side of that now. That bow echo has moved up to our northeast, and we're getting moderate rain and winds out of the south at maybe just about 20 miles per hour. So we've got to do some road navigation here to figure out how do we get back in front of this thing, Mike. But again, from our vantage point, it was a pretty big storm. About 5-10 minutes of 50 gusts to about 80 miles per hour when that bow echo hit us, and then after that, it's kind of calmed down a lot. So That's the latest
to the north,
right now,
John.
live down here by Riverwind Casino.
Let's look up to the north here by the Johnson plant, 77, just to the east of I-35. Let's go over to Max 3. That's where the tornado appears to be now. It is lifted to the north. So right here. So this is going to be now in North Norman. There's downtown Norman. And then Max Westheimer here. And here's I-35 right here. We're zoomed all the way in, Max Westheimer. So on the east side of Westheimer, north of downtown Norman, lifting to the north. Let's go ahead and travel on up into southeast Moore. So Indian Hill Road here, Tecumseh, Indian Hill Road, and then southeast Moore. That's where the tornado is now. John had all that wind go by, 80, 85 miles an hour, as the circulation passed just to his west. And now we're talking about just to the east of Westheimer. It moved from Riverwind to there in the past 5 to 6 minutes, and it's lifting on up here toward Draper Lake is where that is heading, up toward Draper Lake. So tornado precautions up here. Let's go ahead and back out a little bit more here and take a look. So tornado precautions up here from northeast Norman. See it right there? Let's go to Connor Toon here live. It looks like a tornado right there in North Norman. Go Connor Toon.
Yeah, Mike, we actually had some power flashes about 5 minutes ago. We were on the east side of 35, and the power flashes looked like they were on the west side of 35 in Norman, in the Norman area. Only one quick flash, but I'd take that as an indication of maybe a quick spin up in this section of the storm. Back to you.
Okay, so the very latest here, power flashes about 5 minutes ago. Let's go back over to radar. So you're talking about the area here north of Norman, right here, due north of Norman here. This is going to be by Sunny Lane Avenue and Tecumseh. Sunny Lane and Tecumseh is where that's located. That's still an ongoing, quite possible tornado. There have been power flashes across Norman with a lot of wind here as well. Quick update from John Slater. Continue your tornado precautions here from northeast Norman up to about Draper Lake and Franklin. That's going to be on the southeast side of Moore.
Hey, Mike.
John Slater, go. Yes.
Yeah, we're just looking right here. Before we get to John, I just want to show different radar. There's 2 different radar views here, and you can see how it went basically right over the Riverwind Casino. So here's Highway 9 farther off to the south. It went over that, and then here's a different radar view. We got radars right on top of this, and then it's moving just north and east of Max Westheimer Airport. All right, John, go ahead.
Will do.
Damaging wind over in eastern Cleveland County as well, from East Norman over to Draper Lake, over to Etowah. A lot of wind damage in through there. High velocity damaging straight line winds here with this punching gust front punching to the northeast. So this is all high velocity wind right here. And then it wraps up into the circulation here that's over northeast Norman with that ongoing tornado warning there. So let's go ahead and back out. So here's Oklahoma City. Some pretty good rains now coming in. These are generally non-severe except for the southern sides of Oklahoma City. They're lifting to the north-northeast with the ongoing circulation now over northeast Norman, lifting up towards southeast Oklahoma County. So heads up at Draper Lake and also over by I-40 and Choctaw Road. So heads up for you, Draper Lake over to I-40 and Choctaw Road. Then from there over toward Meeker and Jacktown, Highway 62 to the west and north of Twin Lakes. But again, a lot of damaging winds here in Cleveland County, lifting toward Pottawatomie County and Lincoln County. And the very back of the storm is now in southwest Oklahoma City. Pretty decent rains coming up. Possibility of some damaging winds coming in to south Oklahoma City and the eastern sides of the metro here as well as it lifts on up to the northeast. Let's go back over to Connor Toon. He had power flashes in Norman about 7 minutes ago. Tell us where you are right now. What do you see? So Connor is in Norman right now. Looks like he's currently at a stoplight. Let's see if we can check in with him. Ongoing tornado warning here. This is going to be southwest of Draper Lake. Go,
Yes,
Connor, Toon.
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike. We're north on Porter, over by the Porter campus. Actually, my crew, Ryan, lives right over here, and it does look like on our radar there was a little bit of a gate-to-gate right through this area. I'm looking for damage. We're on the backside of where that circulation was now. I don't see any damage. Don't see any trees, no power lines. All the power is on over here. But for a second there, at least on our radar, it looks pretty intense right here where we're driving through currently. Back to you.
Okay, very good. So just looking at the latest trends here, looking at Max 1, looking at the velocities here. A lot of damaging winds here coming through Cleveland County. John Slater had 80 to 85 as that circulation there traveled from near the River Wind over to the northeast side of Norman, and it's now located up here near Draper Lake, lifting to the northeast, right up here over northeastern Cleveland County, and then from there, I-40 and Choctaw Road is where that's heading, and then up toward McLeod and Dale. And the Grand Casino there, heads up for you folks, a lot of damaging winds. Etowah, Pink, and then over through Twin Lakes, lifting to the northeast, strong damaging straight line winds. That big punch you see right there coming on out, that's a lot of damaging straight line winds. And the circulation center is now located very close to Draper Lake right now. If John Slater's with us, we go back to John here and check this out. Continue your tornado precautions. This is very far east more, Draper Lake area really, over toward I-40 and Choctaw, and then on over here toward Dale and McLeod, heads up there. Circulation center now basically northeast of Norman, and still a lot of wind down around Norman from time to time as well, but the big winds now are northeast Norman heading up toward I-40 and Choctaw. Go John Slater.
Hey, Mike. Well, we're just going north on I-35 right now, approaching Main Street in Norman, just going over the bridge here across the river. And, we're a little bit south of the main action right now. When it came through, we had it live on the air when that Bow Echo came right up from the River Wind Casino area to Highway 9 there and to the east. We had easily sustained at around 50, gust up to about 80, 85 miles per hour. Straight line winds as that was coming through. It was a mini hurricane that lasted about 5 or 10 minutes. And then, poof, just as quick as he came, it was gone. So it's about a 5-10 minute deal. Very strong straight line winds, damaging winds, in fact, are very possible with that Bow Echo. So folks up there to the north and east, definitely get prepared for some severe winds as this Bow Echo hits your area. But again, it lasts about 5-10 minutes, Mike, and gets pretty calm after that. So we're heading north. We'll be looking around for some damage once we get into the Norman area here and see if there's been any damage up here in the Norman area. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, so have you seen any signs of power outages down in Norman, John, best you can tell?
I haven't, best I can tell, but I'm sort of on the interstate, so I'm not really in the neighborhoods right now, but I can't tell that there's any significant power outages from my vantage point.
We're not showing too many power outages as of yet. There tends to be a bit of a delay, so it's not impossible that we may not have some, but there's a bit of a delay. We're not showing, at least as of this very moment, on our feed here, live power outages. Not a whole lot down here in the Norman area. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 1, take a look here. Kind of a broad view if you're just now joining us. Heavy thunderstorms now in the Oklahoma City area. A lot of good heavy rain coming in. There may be some potential of some damaging winds on the south and southeast sides of Oklahoma City in particular as this lifts to the north, but those are non-tornadic in Oklahoma County. Strong circulation now just passing Draper Lake, heading up toward I-40 and Choctaw, where that is right now, went right over Norman. Wind gusts, John estimated up to 80 to 85 miles per hour. And there were a few power flashes in Norman, and that is now very close to I-40 and Choctaw Road is where that circulation is. And a big gust front now coming out of Cleveland County into Pottawatomie County. So we're talking about Shawnee and Tecumseh and McLeod and Dale and Pink and Etowah back to Tribby and Macomb as this complex moves to the northeast at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So we're getting good heavy rains now in the Oklahoma City metro area. Let's go back over to Connor Toon and check out Connor's live stream. We'll go to Corey Inman down by Purcell here next. Connor, tell us what you've seen here the past few minutes in the Norman area.
Yeah, Mike, we just drove close to that area where you guys were discussing maybe that it was a little bit of damage, the Westminster area. There was a little bit of some tree limbs, some leaves on the ground. What road were we on? What was that?
We were on Lindsay Street.
Lindsay Street. We're turning on to Sooner Road now to turn north to follow that area that was just that area of circulation. Back to you.
Okay, so we have a new tornado warning for southeastern Oklahoma County, and this is going to be southeast Midwest City, over to Woods, and then up toward near Choctaw. So Woods and Choctaw, so a tornado warning now over on Max 1. over on Max 1 here. This circulation here forming just over the southeast sides of Midwest City, Douglas Avenue, over here toward Choctaw Road and I-40. Circulation right there. So up here toward Choctaw is where that's heading. The southeast side of Oklahoma County, that is a brand new tornado warning right there on that circulation there that just came out of the Norman area. And that's lifting up into southeastern Oklahoma County, southeast side of Midwest City, a little ways, just a little bit to the east of Tinker, and then on up here toward Choctaw, I-40 and Choctaw, up toward about Choctaw, and then from there over to near Hera. For you folks over here in southeastern Oklahoma County, that is a brand new tornado warning right there. The circulation center there, pretty close to 240 and very close to Douglas and Choctaw roads in southeastern Oklahoma County, up toward Woods, and again up toward Choctaw. There's I-40 and Choctaw right there. So up here to the north at Choctaw, that is a potential tornado. It's non-confirmed. It's for rotation, which came out of the northeast Norman area a little while ago and is now up here in southeastern Oklahoma County. So it's a brand new tornado warning for southeastern Oklahoma County, lifting on up toward Choctaw and I-40 and Choctaw Road and Woods, and then over toward Hera for you folks over in eastern Oklahoma County, up toward Hera. Good heavy rains on the backside of that. Oklahoma City, OCU, a lot of heavy lightning and thunder. Some hail around as well. That's all lifting to the north, so we'll get some good rains right here in Oklahoma City proper. And again, right here on the southeast side, I-40, 240, the Tinker Diagonal, up toward Choctaw, just immediately to the east of Tinker Air Force Base. That's radar indicated for this activity right here. It did pulse up, as you see here, and it looks like it has come down a little bit just on the latest scan. The green and the red there have weakened just a bit, but still, that could easily cycle right back up. So that's an ongoing tornado warning right there. Let's go to Rose State College here, look at the Rose State camera, and we're looking down to the southeast. So a lot of wind here at Rose State. As you can tell, that's a very strong wind coming up through southern Oklahoma County and the southeast sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. And that's going to be feeding into that circulation center, which is just now northwest of I-40 and Choctaw Road in southeastern Oklahoma County. That's Rose State right there. Let's go back over to John Slater with an update coming out of Norman. John, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. We're east on Robinson right now. We're east I-35. We're on Robinson Street here in Norman. We're moving east. We're just south of the North Campus there, and we have some tree damage, a little bit of tree damage on Robinson here. We're going to head up to the next north-south intersection here, and we're going to go north and check out the North Campus. We heard there could be some damage up there. So,
John, it sure looked like that circulation center did track basically right over the west and north side of the OU campus. So we'll be curious to see what you see there as those really high-velocity winds you're reporting came right through the Norman campus as well. So that's an update from John Slater right there. Here's the overview of the metro. Let's take a look at this. So if you're just now joining us, the back of the entire storm system as far as this complex we have right here is basically over west Oklahoma City, and this is all lifting to the northeast here, and we have some pretty good wind rolling through south Oklahoma City and east Oklahoma City, as well as this tornado warning now just to the northwest of Choctaw Road and I-40. We had the hot green and the hot red there. It's eased back a fair amount. This was radar indicated for this tornado warning. There's Hera and there's Choctaw right there. Still some strong winds. We'll go over there to the Midwest City camera and see what that shows us. And the Midwest City camera has a lot of strong wind as well from the south blowing to the north. You can see the blowing spray there. That's Interstate 40 over there, very close to Tinker at Rose State College. And we had measured winds of about 60 down at the Mesonet station in Norman just a short while ago. So about 60-mile-an-hour winds there. Let's go back over to radar here and show you what we have going on. So tornado warning there, southeast 29th and about Choctaw Road. That circulation there, not quite as pronounced as it was earlier, but the tornado warning does continue for southeast Oklahoma County. So heads up for Choctaw, heads up for Hera and the Woods area. Choctaw Road, I-40 northbound there toward Choctaw. The neighborhoods in through here. These could cycle up again very, very quickly As you can see there with that hot red there, not quite as much red and green together, but there's some strong, strong winds coming through a good part of the southeast side of the Oklahoma City metro. And Norman's in the wake now of all of that, so the winds have diminished some. The big punch of wind now is McLeod and the Grand Casino down to Bethel Acres and Twin Lakes. Big punch here of damaging winds coming out of the south and the southwest, lifting up through Pottawatomie County, then into Lincoln County, Meeker, and Jacktown. You folks will have some high wind, and this wind could be as up to 75 to 80 miles per hour. Jet stream winds coming in right now, so a pretty good punch of wind coming out of Pottawatomie County into Lincoln County, lifting to the northeast, so a heads up on that. And again, the wind has diminished quite a bit down in Norman. As things have diminished in Norman, the storm has rolled on through, so that's really good news for sure. So hail sizes there, a lot of quarters and nickels there, as you could see, coming past Norman, and with this complex of storms now in southeastern Oklahoma County. Let's go back over to Connor Toon, get an update from him and what he sees right now coming out of the southeast metro. Connor.
Yeah, Mike, we're heading north on Sooner Road. We finally were behind that circulation that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes or so. Had really good visual kind of on that section of the storm to our northeast, and then it just blew northeast. So, again, that section approaching kind of the Choctaw area, it looks like it has really kind of sped up northeast to the Norman area. Again, we're on Sooner Road, heading north, and that section has really blown to the northeast. Back to you.
Okay, so report here of a possible tornado very close to Tinker. So sirens now are going off in Midwest City. Let's go over to Max 1 here and show that to you. So it's these leading edge gust front tornadoes, these little eddies here that you see, the hot red here. So Nakoma Park, Reno Avenue, Northeast 10th, Choctaw Road, all these little hot red centers that you see right here. These leading edge gust front tornadoes, these QLCS type tornadoes. This is a big complex with a lot of rotation in it. So the sirens are going off in Midwest City, and the rotation center there came out of Tinker with a possible tornado reported there, and these hot red centers are combining with wind shear to generate little small tornadoes. So this is going to be Nakoma Park over through Choctaw, lifting up toward 23rd Street, Highway 62 very quickly. So everybody around Choctaw, be away from windows. Nakoma Park, away from windows. Hara, away from windows as well. And even little areas here, continued small little spin-ups there, just passing Nuwala as well. So you see these little hot red centers in through here. QLCS, leading edge, gust front type tornadoes. They tend to be a little bit smaller, but certainly they can produce some damage, and they're moving very, very fast, along with a big punch of some high velocity winds in through here as well. Let's go over to Rose State and look at the Rose State camera. And things have improved a little bit here just since we checked in with Rose State just about 5 minutes ago. The wind has diminished some, but a pretty good wind, as you saw, was rolling through Rose State with some spray out there. And that was part of that area of a possible tornado down around Tinker. And that has been lifting up toward Choctaw. Back over to Max 1 here. And on Max 1, there's the time of arrival for you. Basically Choctaw right about now, and then up, could go as far north as Luther to the south and east, and then over toward Wellston and Warwick. Wellston and Warwick there is where that's heading up into Lincoln County right in through here. And heads up for you folks in Chandler, it's heading there as well. Aaron Brackett here driving the Doppler data here, showing you we got the little hot red centers all in through here, and that's little areas of spin-ups here that have been occurring. Report of a brief tornado down around Tinker, and that's for this area that came right out of Tinker, right in through here, rapidly heading up into Choctaw. So away from windows in Choctaw, and safest place, you know, interior closet or bathroom is good. Many walls between you and the outside as possible, and that rotation is literally coming into Choctaw right now. Let's go to Connor Toon here, southeast side of the metro with a live update. Connor?
Yeah, Mike, we are trying to kind of get to the Tinker area where we heard maybe there was some possible damage. Haven't seen anything yet, but we are about to pull into that area here shortly. Again, still now to the northeast where that main area, that tornado warning is, it has just really moved off to the northeast. But we're coming up on that area where there is possible damage. We'll get back to you if we find anything. Back to you.
Okay, Connor, thank you very much on that. So Let's go back over to Max 1 here, and we'll show you on Max 1. So big wind here around McLeod here, winds 70, 75, very common. So lifting up toward Jacktown, Meeker, and Prague, and up here to the south of Chandler, Lincoln County, severe there. And these little QLCS spin-ups here, the hot red, anywhere you see the hot red there, that's going to be an area where potentially little small tornadoes may develop along the leading edge of that gust front there, rolling into Choctaw now, Hera, and up toward a little ways east of Jones, little ways to the east of Jones, up into western Lincoln County, up there around Britton Road in Lincoln County and 122nd in Lincoln County, little ways to the north of Dale, so McLeod Dale area, north of Dale and to the south of Wellston. So heads up for you folks in Lincoln County. So little areas here of spin certainly could spin up as they come on through. Let's go ahead and go over, Aaron, we'll kind of drive that and take a broader look here as to what's going on in terms of other parts of the metro here. You see the edge of the wind there basically is from about the Turner Turnpike gate. It's not quite as strong there, and then it really picks up at about Spencer. So it's eastern Oklahoma County. And then from Spencer, it gets really hot, that wind, right around Choctaw and Nakoma Park, and that's for these little leading edge QLCS tornadoes here, lifting on up. There's Jones, so damaging winds coming into the Jones area now. Just to the east of the Oakdale Valley, the winds are picking up in the Oakdale Valley right now. The really strong winds are over there east of the Oakdale Valley, and then over here toward Fowler and Dale and Meeker and Jacktown, Highway 62. Strong winds out of the southwest blowing quickly to the northeast, winds 70 to 75. There's a hot spot right there on the gust front as well. Just very close to the Grand, just passing the Grand Casino there up into Jacktown on Highway 62. John Slater was down in Norman. Reports of some scattered damage potentially on North Campus in Norman. John, tell us what you have.
Hey, Mike, that's right. We are at the airport here on the North Campus in Norman, just north of Robinson Street, and there are several trees snapped and also some big limbs that are just snapped. So they obviously had some very strong winds here. We're looking at this truck right here. You can see this tree is actually snapped about a foot from ground level right here. And there's also several other trees that have been snapped. Also, Mike, we're going to pan over to this building here to the left. I want you to take a quick look at this building, and you might remember because that's the old National Severe Storms Laboratory here on the North Campus with Don Burgess used to work at. Anyway, ironically, that's where the severe weather has been. Back to you, Mike.
So you're looking at the old National Severe Storms Laboratory building right there, Max Westheimer North Campus. That's what John's referring to right there. We're talking about the 1970s and 1980s. Which is, of course, John's era and my era as well. We remember this all really well down here. And that's the wind damage there. John, you're mentioning the trees snapped off near the base, right? So some of those were snapped clean off.
Yeah, there's a couple of trees here, at least two that I've seen that have been snapped off. There's one coming up right here on the right-hand side of the road here that has been snapped off. Let's see if we can take a closer look in. Right there, you can see how that was just right at the base, just snapped off right there at the base. So they had to have some pretty good winds here. We were estimating 70 to 80 plus when it came and hit us just east of the Highway 9 bridge over I-35. So basically, that was downstream of where we are right now. Mike, back to you.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Excellent report right there. The wind damage in Norman. Again, there was also a little QLCS tornado that was going up through here as well. So this could actually be tornado damage that John's showing you live here on the North Campus, Max Westheimer Field, at the old National Severe Storms Laboratory on North Campus, Norman. Let's go back over to the Doppler data here. So new tornado warning now. This is for the Jones area. These little high-velocity couplets you see here, these are these little QLCS tornadoes up to about Luther. So that's some strong winds around Jones. And then you head on over toward Britton Road. This would include Lincoln County, 122nd, Britton Road, Wilshire, and the Lincoln, Oklahoma County line. So 102's right here. There's Highway 102, so it includes all of you folks along Highway 102 over here in western Lincoln County, all the way up to about Wellston and Warwick to the southwest of Chandler. So all these folks here under tornado warnings, and you see little bitty little bitty tight circulations. There's one showing up right there. They don't last very long, but these are small QLCS tornadoes that are developing, and they hit, produce a bit of damage, and they go away, and then they hit someplace else. So they're generally short-lived, but they do produce some tornado damage and also some localized wind damage, 80, 85 miles an hour here. Another hot spot there, very close to Highway 62 near Jacktown and Fowler and Midway, a little ways to the west of Meeker and Prague. There's Jacktown. So lifting on up to the south of Chandler. So a hot spot there as well, and a big punching gust front. Winds coming from southwest to northeast, and some of that high wind is also coming through Shawnee right now. So pretty good Shawnee wind there, and you see the motion there northeast at a pretty high rate of speed, 50 to 60 miles per hour, with wind gusts potentially 70 to 80 miles per hour. So you want to stay away from windows, the west window, the southwest window, the south window, especially with the wind coming in south to north, and little QLCS leading edge gust front tornadoes all along here as it moves out of southeastern and eastern Oklahoma County into Lincoln County. So that's the very latest. That's definitely a developing little QLCS tornado right there. With a brand new tornado warning. Yeah, coming up right there. Highway 62, west of Meeker near Midway and Jacktown and Fowler. So lifting on up here toward Chandler. So there's Chandler right there. Heads up for you folks in Chandler. Let's go switch over to intensity here and take a look at intensities on this. And we'll show you where the rain or the hail is located. Those are all Doppler velocities. So you see the big arcing gust front right there. And then back down to Jones with little QLCS tornadoes there. So let's go ahead and keep heading to the west. So the back edge of this is over East Edmond, and things are clearing out now in much of West Oklahoma City, but some pretty good wind over near the Frontier City area, the Oakdale Valley. Really picks up east of the Oakdale Valley, Jones, Choctaw and Spencer, but again, a hot spot there at Jones, heading up toward Luther, so tornado warning for you guys. And then from Fowler and Meeker, heading on up toward Chandler, tornado warning for you guys there. Up and down Highway 102, Wilshire, over through Britain and 122nd Street. Tornado warning all in through there. But clearly two hot spots right there with little QLCS tornadoes, certainly possible, if not likely. We're showing them spinning up here from time to time as it lifts on up to the northeast. Let's go back over to intensities again, and we'll kind of back out on that a little bit and take an overview here as we kind of back out. Nice job there, Aaron. So here's the gust front wrapping all the way back down through Pottawatomie County. You can see here on the leading edge, that's where the problem is. That's where all the little small QLCS tornadoes are. And this is all basically just rain back here. So from Edmond, downtown, all the way down now through Moore and points west, you are now clearing out and are cool and much more stable. So the threat is not there. For Norman and for Moore and for Minko and Tuttle and Yukon and downtown and War Acres and Bethany, you're fine. And up here from central Edmond into West Edmond, you're fine. Piedmont and El Reno, the South Metro, the Southeast Metro has had this QLCS event here with straight line winds at 85 miles per hour. Lots of heavy rain. Let's go ahead and go on back down. Tornado warning down here in Garvin County, and also tornado warning down on the east side of Ada. So let's go ahead and head on down here. These are lifting almost due northward, and tornado warning down by Springer. So we have quite a few tornado warnings here in Murray County and also in Pontotoc County. So let's go to velocities here and look at these, and we'll take a close look. So just north of Ardmore there, up to Springer. And there's the rotation there, very close to Springer, east side of Springer, lifting to the north, so Doherty. And from there, north of Gene Autry, near Gene Autry, but Springer right now is where it's located, lifting almost due northward. Let's walk on up. It's going to be Davis Sulphur and the Arbuckles right there. And then another area of circulation here, just very close to Wynnewood. So very close to Wynnewood, another circulation there with a tornado warning, lifting to the north. That's Wynnewood, just east of Pauls Valley, tornado warning lifting to the north there. And then over here in Pontotoc County, right here, east side, a little ways east of Ada, lifting to the north as well. Areas of rotation right there. So it's going to be Fitztown and Fitzhugh, east of Ada, lifting to the north to east of Bing is where that is heading. Lifting to the north. That's a tornado warning there as well.
Hey, Mike, let's go to John Slater.
Let's go ahead and take a look at John Slater.
Yeah.
Go, John.
Hey, Mike, we're still here at the airport, North Campus, University of Oklahoma, north of Robinson Street. And there's the airport right there. I mean, you can see the runway in the distance there, but we're seeing a lot of this sheet metal. It appears to be some kind of a sheet metal, maybe blown off the roof. We don't know exactly where it came from. I'm just guessing maybe it came from the roof or the siding here of one of the hangars, but it's blown up against the fence here. You can see right in front of us. Over to our right, there's more there. There's a police officer blocking some more damage that we can see by the fence over there. So this all occurred when that initial wind surge, the Bo Echo, came through. We estimated, 70 to 85 mile per hour winds when it hit us there. We were a little farther down to the south, but it moved right up in the North Campus here. And we're also hearing some unconfirmed information that there may have been some damage at the Target and the Homeland here on the west side, just to the north of Robinson, just really west of where we are right now. So we're going to go over there and check out and see if there was any damage around the Homeland and the Target there in Norman. But this is the latest from the North Campus. The airport did take a hard hit with that gust front or that Bo Echo that came through here with damaging winds. Mike, back to you.
So, John, can you tell, is the debris blown from south to north? The best you can tell, how's that debris oriented?
I'm going to guess it's blown from south to north. I'm not 100% sure of that, but when I look to the north and northwest, there isn't really anything that I could see where it came from. But, it's on the left side here, you can see that we have a hangar or a building here on the airport. I'm thinking it may have come from there, but I don't know. Josephine, what do you think? Which way do you think this debris came from?
I'm going to say it came from our southwest.
Yeah.
Blew kind of more northeast.
Okay. That's what we think, if you heard Kevin. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Again, that's the hangar area at Max Westheimer. John had 80 to 85 mile-an-hour winds. This is also where that little QLCS tornado tracked through as well. So you may be looking basically at EF0 to maybe EF1, potentially type tornado damage in through here. We'll, of course, get any confirmation on that looking at the damage surveys later tonight and tomorrow. But there is quite a bit of wind damage, including trees snapped at the Max Westheimer North Campus at OU. So to the north here, still in the Luther area, lifting to the north, so heads up for Kearney and heads up for Chandler ahead of the line. Most of the rotation here is on the north side of this big bow-looking thing you see right here, and you see lots of hot spots around Luther. So tornado warning continues here, and it looks like they're maybe west of Luther. Let's go ahead and push on in all the way on that one, Aaron. Let's take a look. West side of Luther here, that appears to be where that little QLCS tornado is between Luther and Arcadia, just passing Route 66. So like the round barn will be right about here. Round barn's right about here. So we're talking about just east of the Chicken Shack and a little ways to the west of Luther, a little QLCS tornado there. And then on the front side of that, some really strong wind coming out of the south to north, which could be 80 to 85 miles per hour in through there. So wind damage. So Luther to north of Luther up to the Oklahoma County line. There's a whole bunch of wind in through here, and the possibility of a little QLCS tornado tucked in on the west side of that, lifting north to northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Same thing here, and this is going to be just to the east of 102, southeast of Wellston. Same thing here. Strong south wind on the front side, and then potentially a little QLCS tornado there, lifting on up toward Chandler. So heads up for you folks in Chandler. See that clearly the two hot spots right there. And then down, right there, and then down the line, that's probably a little tornado right there at Roseville, just east of 102, pretty close to about 122nd Street. Way out here in Lincoln County, a little ways to the north of Wilshire and Britton Road. But that's exactly where that is, 122nd and Memorial over there in rural Lincoln County. And then here's that little QLCS here, just about 3 miles to the northwest of Luther, lifting to the north with some really strong south winds blowing northward. So you want to make sure you stay away from windows right here, northeastern Oklahoma County. And you can see that really drops off a lot once you get on the west side of Arcadia, and things have calmed down considerably from Edmond on down into Oklahoma City. The very back of the storm there is lifting out quickly to the north-northeast. Again, damaging winds down this line as well. So these winds here are going to be pretty common in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range. Severe thunderstorm warnings is Big Bow. Notice the hot spots are not quite as hot in through there, and Aaron just drew in the arrows lifting to the northeast. So you're going to want to avoid your west window and your south window. Lincoln County, Johnston over here by the little exit on I-40 north of Seminole, Prague on over here eventually toward Castle and Boley and Okemah and over toward Depew and Stroud, eventually heading up your way. Big Bow Echo there. And then right on down through Tecumseh, big heavy rains in Shawnee. All these are severe in through here, damaging winds the main threat. Then we get into these supercells down here lifting due northward. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Just on the east side of Ada, right there, just east side of Ada, rotation there continues, lifting due northward. That's an update on that tornado warning right there. East side of Ada, lifting north to just east of Bing. So Pontotoc County there. So damaging winds again from the south to the north on the front side of that circulation there just east of Ada. And then here, same thing here, just on the east side of Wynnewood and just east of Pauls Valley. Circulation there, that's in Garvin County, lifting on up towards Stratford. So heads up for Stratford and west of Stratford. These are lifting almost due northward. These are supercells down there. And then farther down, down in Murray County, another supercell down here that came out of the Springer area. And that rotation is quite strong near Darty, north of Gene Autry, and to the southeast of Davis. Circulation right there with damaging winds on the front side of that blowing south to north right there. So the Darty area lifting on up towards Sulphur. For you folks in Murray County, the Arbuckles, of course, exactly right here. So it's on the kind of southeast side of the Arbuckles, lifting to the north-northeast. That's a tornado warning right there as well. Let's go back over to kind of back out of that and take a look. We'll go to intensities here. So these are all little supercells here, supercell, and then this big QLCS event that came across the metro. Let's go, notice here back to the west here, things have quieted down considerably. So from downtown Edmond westward, North Oklahoma City, Central Oklahoma City, South Oklahoma City, Moore, and Norman. Just gentle light rain right now. The severe weather has passed by southern and eastern Oklahoma County, and it's passed by Norman. The focus now is going to be up toward Kearney, up toward Chandler, and over toward the I-40 Shawnee exit right there. Let's go back over to John Slater. He's down around Max Westheimer Field, surveying the likely straight line wind and quite possibly tornado damage down there that he was reporting on live about 45 minutes ago. John, what do you have?
Like we're sort of in transition. We left the airport that had some, I would say minor, moderate damage at the airport there, the North Campus Airport, just north of Robinson here at the University of Oklahoma. There was some damage there. Trees, several trees snapped, a lot of tree limbs broken off. And there was some siding from some of the hangars. There was some sheet metal that was kind of sporadically blown around over the airport. We don't know exactly where that came from. I'm just assuming maybe one of the hangars or something like that. But we have unconfirmed information of there may be some damage at the Homeland and the Target. We're approaching that area right now. I don't see any emergency vehicles or anything like that ongoing right now, but we're just arriving on site right now. We're at 24th Avenue in Robinson right now. The Homeland, I believe, is to the left. We do see some lights, so we'll figure out what's going on, and the Target is to the north. So we're going to check out the Homeland just to the south here, the Target to the north. We heard from some folks that we met over on North Campus Airport there that there may have been some damage here, and so we're checking it out. That's the latest. Mike, back to you.
John, thank you very much. About 3,800 total customers in the OG&E service area without power. That represents about 10,000 folks. That number is, we would think, is fairly low considering the amount of straight line winds that just rolled through the south and southeast sides of the Oklahoma City metro, Cleveland County, eastern Oklahoma County. There are power outages. Total so far, about 3,800 customers. Again, the severe weather here rolling through the south and east sides of the Oklahoma City metro, now lifting to the north. And again, everything is improving considerably. Choctaw, Midwest City, big improvement, starting to improve now just in the past couple of minutes in Luther. Edmond improving, decent rains came through the Edmond area. Let's go back over to John Slater. He's checking out that damage down there in Norman. John?
Yes, we got some damage here at a gas station here right on the parking lot of the Homeland area. And we got some trees down here. We have some sheet metal, again, kind of blown around over here. And we do have some police vehicles out here. So we took some strong straight line winds. I'm just quickly looking at it, and it looks like all the trees were blown from south to north. So this also looks like a strong south wind came through here, which would be consistent of more of a bow echo type thing. But, you know, I'm not going to confirm that. That's just what it looks like to me right now. And you can see right now there's some folks here, some emergency vehicles maybe pulling up. There's a police officer there, and they're kind of just looking at it and trying to assess the situation right now. So minor, moderate damage here. Homeland parking lot on Robinson, 24th Street, Norman. Mike, back to you.
John, nice job. You know, it's a bit curious because you see a tree uprooted right there, but yet it appears like you basically have power, more or less you have power
Exactly.
all around your area right now.
Exactly. I was just thinking about that and talking to Kevin Josephie about that. It's amazing we're seeing all this damage and the power's on everywhere. So that's good news, right? We're not complaining. Back to you.
Okay, John, thank you very much. Nice job. We can go check with our other storm trackers. Connor Toon is down here in the Southeast Metro as well. Let's see where Connor is right now. Connor?
People down there, too.
Oh, yes, Mike. We just got to the gate at Tinker Air Force Base, the north gate, spoke to one of the gate guards, and they've actually been keeping an eye on it, and they've done a sweep, and they've had no damage to report in and around Tinker. We had heard unconfirmed reports that Tinker was damaged. So we're going to adjust now to another damaged location, supposedly, and we'll get back to you.
Okay, so Connor, just to repeat there, you talked to the gate at Tinker, and they are aware of the report, but as of right now, they do not have any damage to report. Is that right?
Yes. The gate guard said that he was not made aware, and that he most likely would have been made aware to any damage in and around the Tinker area.
Okay, very good, Connor. Let's go ahead and go back over to Max 1 here, Aaron Brackett driving Max 1. So we're looking at these supercells down here to the south. These have got bigger circulation centers. These are more classic supercells here. The nighttime low-level inflow is now kicking into these storms, and that's a pretty big circulation near Darty right now. So east of Davis, very close but east, near but east of Davis, and then Sulphur coming into the southeast side of the Arbuckles right here, just to the east of Honey Creek Pass. Just east of Honey Creek Pass is where that is. That's a pretty strong circulation right there. So that's an ongoing tornado warning for Murray County. So heads up for Sulphur, damaging winds here on the front side, south to north. And that's a pretty strong circulation there with a classic supercell down here in Murray County. That's the update for Murray County. So tornado precautions east of Honey Creek Pass, up to between Davis and Sulphur right now, pretty close to the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge there. And the other circulation center also pretty strong east of Pauls Valley and to the southwest of Stratford. That's a strong circulation there as well. That's a supercell, and it's lifting to the north-northeast as well. This is Garvin County, eastern Garvin County, lifting to the north-northeast. So tornado precautions there. Stratford and west of Stratford up to the south side of Byers. That's a significant circulation right there. Over here in Pontotoc County, that is also a very significant circulation there. East of Bing, and to the southwest of Atwood and to the west of Allen. So right in through here, that's also a strong circulation with damaging winds possible on the front side of that, south to north. But the circulation center is sitting right there between Bing and Allen in northeastern Pontotoc County, about to cross the river Sassacua. So heads up for Sassacua as that lifts to the almost due north. So Seminole County, severe weather heading your way now. So that's 1, 2, and 3 supercells with tornado warnings there. Back up to the QLCS up here. We'll see how these are doing. And still right up in that Chandler area. So leading edge gust front tornadoes in through here between Sparks and Chandler. So just south of Chandler. So heads up for you folks around Chandler. This is going to be some strong wind here also coming across the Turner Turnpike in Lincoln County. It'll be doing so from Chandler up to Stroud here in the next 5 minutes as this punches to the north-northeast at a high rate of speed at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So these are ongoing QLCS tornadoes here, and still a little circulation center near Dudley and Fallis and to the west of Kearney. Those have weakened a bit. That's what came out of the North Luther area, and that tracked across 66 halfway between Luther and Arcadia, and then now it has weakened some near Fallis and to the southwest of Kearney and west of Kearney and southwest of Tryon. But still some areas of damaging winds in there, and a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for your area, Kearney up to Tryon, and then from there on up toward Ripley in Payne County and Agra in northern Lincoln County, and up toward Cushing. Heads up for you folks as well. Severe thunderstorm warnings in through there, and those little hot spot red areas there. But this is definitely tornado worthy there, southeast of Chandler, just barely southeast of Chandler, and a lot of high winds coming across the Turner Turnpike as it lifts up through Chandler and Davenport. That's likely a QLCS tornado sitting right there, heading on up toward Davenport. So Route 66, Davenport, Aaron's drawing the rotation marker there on it. Tight circulation sitting right there, and it's heading right up there, Route 66, Davenport. Damaging winds on the front side especially that will affect Davenport. So you folks want to be away from windows and storm cellar or basement. Maybe a smaller tornado, a little gust front tornado, but that's a significant circulation right there as well. Time of arrival there for you. Chandler, Davenport, basically right about now, and then Stroud up toward Milfay and Depew and Drumright. Over into Creek County is where that is heading right there. So that's the latest on all those circulations. Let's go ahead and go to reflectivity. And on reflectivity, we'll take a look. Conditions have improved considerably in the Edmond area. And just light rain in the Village, War Acres, Bethany. Everybody's clear here. Clear down through Jones and Choctaw. Clear down through Midwest City. Clear from Moore and Norman. All the energy now transferring off to the northeast and the east. And here's the brand new tornado warning coming up into Seminole County now. That's a supercell. It's also on the leading edge of the entire area of precipitation. So Sasakwa there, that's a strong circulation. So you folks in Sasakwa, this could be a serious situation for you. That's a strong rotation, lifting due north. So Sasakwa, tornado precautions, no doubt about it. And if you can go to your storm cellar or your safe spot, you need to do that right now. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows. So just east of Francis, Sasakwa there, lifting due north at around 40 miles per hour. So that's a tornado warning for southeastern and east central Seminole County. Just to the southeast of Seminole proper, Sasakwa, red line, center line for you. That's a big deal right there. These could be producing tornadoes at any time. So between Holdenville and Seminole is where that is heading. You see the time of arrival there, generally up toward Wewoka, up there in northern Hughes County, and near and just west of Holdenville is where that's tracking, lifting due northward. So that's an update for you. Would not take that lightly. There's a strong circulation there, conditions favorable for tornadoes. And we have the circulation here coming into Sulphur. Same thing here. This is a strong circulation centered literally on the western side of Sulphur right now. So tornado precautions here, interior closet or bathroom, storm cellar or basement. Aaron, let's go ahead and push all the way in with that really strong, tight couplet right there coming into Sulphur right there on the west side of town. So you see that's likely a tornado. Looks like it could be a significant tornado. That may be the strongest circulation center in the entire state right now. So we're talking about Highway 7, very close to the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge here down in Murray County. And this is dangerous for sulfur around the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge, and then from there on up into Oak Grove. And this is going to be eastern and northeastern Murray County. But that is a strong circulation right there, and that could be a significant tornado of some size, the way it looks. So that's dangerous. So you really want to be safe down here in the sulfur area, northeastern and eastern Murray County. And there you go, storm projection here, heading generally up towards Stratford. So basically the sulfur area now, and then Oak Grove at about 10:29. It's 10:22 right now, and then Stratford by 10:47. Don't take that lightly. That's a significant circulation with a supercell. Looks quite strong. Let's go ahead and push right back into it again. Probably the strongest circulation in the entire state on the western side of sulfur. Let's go ahead and push all the way in here and add on more of the city streets here. So you can see that's generally right there in the wildlife refuge area in sulfur. And that's a significantly large tornado vortex signature. And that's now on the western sides of sulfur. And it's lifting basically north-northeast at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So this is a likely tornado now right around Highway 7 and sulfur at the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge. That's the refuge roads literally right there. That's where it is, lifting north-northeast. So we'll push all the way in. There's downtown Sulphur right there. So this whole area here, Sulphur west, and then eventually to the northwest and north of Sulphur here, the north side of Sulphur. That's a dangerous situation right there for you folks in the Sulphur area. Murray County lifting to the north, so up toward Oak Grove. So serious situation there. And don't take that lightly. It's the real deal right there. That's a strong circulation. And back up here in Garvin County, there's the rotation with that supercell coming up on Byers. So tornado warning now for Byers. There's the rotation right there, lifting to the north-northeast as well. So Byers, tornado warning precautions for you. This is the panhandle of McLean County. And then it's heading on up into the Gwinnett area. And Asher, Gwinnett and Asher in southern Pottawatomie County, tornado warning for you. So don't take that lightly. Circulation center now just to the west of Stratford, lifting to the north-northeast, and that also looks like a little tornado vortex signature there, just on the west side of Stratford, lifting north-northeast. So Byers up to Asher and Gwinnett. Tornado precautions, go to your safe spot where you know that is as this storm moves toward you, because these are dangerous supercells down here, likely producing tornadoes. So this is a little mini outbreak, I think, with these supercells down here in Pontotoc County heading into Seminole County, and also Murray County heading into Pottawatomie County, and the panhandle of McLean County. Three really significant circulations here ongoing, generally lifting north-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Let's go back over to John Slater in the Norman area. He's surveying the damage. You get about 3,800 customers without power in the Norman area. Seems kind of low considering the winds that came through and those little QLCS tornadoes. John, what have you been doing? What have you seen the past 10 minutes or so?
Across the street by the bank first.
Well, Mike, we've sort of done a quick little survey, and I'm not an expert at this kind of stuff for sure, and I kind of want to stay in my lane a little bit. But, you know, I'm beginning to think that there's a chance this may have been a small EF0 type tornado. The damage width is pretty narrow. Goes from about, Highway 9 bridge there by the casino over I-35 is when it hit us. It started to the southwest of there, or really to the south-southwest, and then came right through Norman. But it's a narrow area. It hit the homeland here north on Robinson, but it didn't hit the target, okay? And then it went right over the airport, the North Campus Airport, but really not much to the east or the west of that narrow area. Within that narrow zone, there was damage. A lot of trees snapped off, large limbs snapped off. We didn't see any power outages. Awnings from some building on the airport, and obviously the gas station there in the Homeland parking lot had some damage that was blown all the way to the northeast. But thinking about it, Mike, there's no written rule that says tornadoes can't be lopsided. All the wind we saw was basically strong out of the south-southwest. But, looking at radar, that's pretty much what it looked like. You had that circulation just to the west, and, maybe you only had a north wind at 40 or 50, which isn't doing a lot of damage, and maybe you had an 85-mile-an-hour wind on the east side, it's still a tornado. It's just kind of lopsided. And that's kind of what we're seeing by looking at this damage. Again, I'm not an expert. Whether it was a small EF0 tornado or just straight line wind, really doesn't matter. The damage has been done, but it's not really severe damage. So that's the good thing is it's not like a big hit, but definitely some damage down here in Norman. Back to you, Mike.
Johnson, you mentioned, perhaps an EF0 tornado. So, you'd be looking right at winds about what you estimated that blew right past you when you're down there near the River Bridge on I-35, 80, 85 miles per hour.
Yeah. No doubt. They were definitely as strong as a small tornado, no doubt. I mean, the car was rocking. I mean, I've been through some hurricanes in my time, and they had to be at least 75 to 80-ish, maybe even stronger than that. And we were actually blocked from the wind a little bit by some trees. So it was a good wind. You could see it on radar, and I'm just happy that, no one was hurt, and the power seems to be on in most locations. We do have some damage around, but nothing that I would call anything greater than an EF0 from my vantage point. But again, I'm not an expert. The National Weather Service will come in, they'll do the survey, and they'll find out what they find out. Reporting live from Norman, back to you, Mike.
John, thank you very much. Nice job down there. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 1. So Aaron Brackett's showing you the debris signature here. This is called a correlation coefficient, and this is showing you lofted debris. So debris that has been lofted, physically lofted up into the sky. And this occurred as it approached the Turner and then really blossomed up as it went across the Turner, and now it's up here by Kendrick. So that is a debris lofting tornado is what that is. Showing up perfectly clear, and it's heading up for Kendrick. So this is going to be to the northeast of Chandler and to the west of Stroud is where this is, and it continues to evolve and enhance. So that is a tornado lofting debris. So it's lofting it up into the sky. So it's fair to say that when you can loft debris and you can see it from radar from a fair distance away, there's a pretty good chance that's greater than an EF0. And it's right over Kendrick right now, maybe on the southeast side of Kendrick. And we hope that it lifts because it's lofting debris. So everybody around Kendrick should be in their safe spot. This is in Lincoln County, northwest of Stroud and northeast of Chandler. And this will update again closer on the southeast side of Kendrick because the velocity shows the couplet there on the southeast and east side of Kendrick. So that's an obvious confirmed tornado because it's lofting debris. This is things like leaves and perhaps other things, but one thing most likely is going to be tree debris and leaves that the radar is actually seeing. So it's lofting debris. That's a debris signature. Let's go back over to velocities here and look at it. So that's Kendrick, northeast of Chandler, north of Davenport, and the circulation there literally on the southeast side of Kendrick. Small town up here north of the Turner Turnpike. The debris loft began on the south side of the Turner. So it's fair to say that a tornado physically crossed the Turner Turnpike. And that would have been just literally in the past 3 minutes or so because the debris loft signature started before it got to the Turner and it kept going. And there's more debris being lofted and the signature's getting more powerful and stronger and more definite and defined. So it's fair to say that a tornado just crossed the Turner Turnpike. And the circulation center now east side of Kendrick, moving rapidly to the northeast, and this is going to be northwest of Stroud, and it's due north of Davenport. It's going to be down south of Agra here a little ways. Let's go ahead and take a look at northern Lincoln County. So from Kendrick, it's going to go up here toward Shamrock, southeast of Agra, and then up here toward Drumright. That's where that's heading. So heads up for you. That is an ongoing tornado that's lofting debris. There's a weaker signature there just southeast of Agra and another one between Perkins and Tryon. These are these gust front leading edge tornadoes, but that one is lofting debris on the east side of Kendrick. Go back to your CC, Aaron, and see if it updated, and it did. Let's go ahead and zoom on in. So the debris loft is on the east side of Kendrick, literally by 100 yards, 200 yards or so is where the debris loft center is. So it's pretty fair to say that it's still on the ground on the east side of Kendrick and came across the Turner Turnpike. So that is a confirmed tornado, ongoing, lofting debris, heading up toward Drumright. So it's going to head out of Lincoln County and go into northwestern Creek County and maybe possibly try to skirt the southeast corner of Payne County to the southeast of Cushing. Southeast of Cushing here, ongoing tornado. Weaker signatures all the way back to Perkins here, lifting to the northeast. So that's ongoing tornado there, dangerous situation, lofting debris. Let's go back over here and take a look at these supercells. This one continues. Quite strong. Now north of Sulphur, that's likely still on the ground. And there's debris loft right there. What's interesting is, wow. So the debris loft started on the west side of Sulphur. And the debris loft is heading off to the northeast. Go to the velocities here. And the velocity couplet is maybe just northwest up here of the debris loft. So it may have either lifted and still the debris is coming back down. There's a new tornado, or the debris just kind of fanned out to the northeast ahead of the tornado or off to the side of it. The tornado's up here, but the debris loft started back at the Chickasaw Wildlife Refuge and Sulphur, west side of Sulphur, north side of Sulphur. So that's a confirmed tornado as well, debris loft. Northeastern Murray County right there. So dangerous situation there. Northeast of Sulphur, debris loft, and then go back to velocity here. Another couplet's up at Oak Grove. So yeah, there's two. There's actually two. There are two on the ground. So here's the tornado here. That's with the debris loft. So tornado with the debris loft here, and a stronger signature now at Oak Grove to the northwest. So it's entirely possible there are twin tornadoes on the ground at the same time. This one's got a confirmed debris loft, and Oak Grove here lifting to the north-northeast. Let's go to the CC on that and see if we see any debris loft. There's kind of a little zone there of what may be potentially debris in through here. Not impossible. Tough to say yet. That's a little more inconclusive. That's definitely an ongoing tornado right there. So Roth, you see where it's heading, Roth right here, and there's Fitzhugh, southwest of Ada. So Roth, tornado precautions there, debris loft ongoing. Strong signature also, though, northwest of it looks like twin tornadoes here, quite possibly on the ground at the same time. So Roth at 1040, it's 1033 right now. So tornado precautions in Roth. Debris loft, ongoing tornado right there confirmed. And it is heading up toward Roth in 6 minutes from right now. So tornado precautions for Roth. And that's going to be heading up into Pontotoc County. Let's go ahead and check out those other circulations, the one up by Sasakwa. And ongoing debris loft, no doubt about it. Aaron, before we do that, let's look at this activity here. So there's potentially something going on right there. There was a circulation center, which is kind of shifted over here to the east. Not impossible. That looks like maybe debris loft right there as well. We'll go to the CC here and look at it. You've got the velocity couplet, and there's something that looks like debris loft even right there. So that would be three. There'd be three circulation centers right there, and the motion here to the northeast. So quite possibly debris loft tornado there, obviously a tornado there, and still a strong indication of some type of debris loft going on in between these two. So there could be three on the ground right in through here with debris loft. Let's go up to Sasakwa and look at Sasakwa here in Seminole County. And let's jump into that and take a look. So we'll go to the velocities here and look. Yeah, wow. Debris loft here as well. Looks like strong circulation there, and it went on the east side of Sasakwa, and it looks like debris loft quite possibly here as well. Holdenville, so really serious for Holdenville. If that's debris loft right there, there's a fair amount of it. There's a lot of debris loft going on right there. And the velocity signature here is on the northeast side of Sasakwa. Yeah, so it's Spalding. So everybody in Holdenville and the west side of Holdenville to the west, literally just minutes away, a tornado that appears to be lofting debris, and that could be a strong tornado heading right into Holdenville. So a lot of debris loft, it looks like, over the Spalding area, just on the south side of Spalding, right in through here. Debris loft heading up toward Holdenville. So a dangerous situation for Holdenville as well. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows. These are lofting debris, so they're all confirmed on the ground down here. And there may be 3 or 4 simultaneous tornadoes happening right now. So Holdenville up toward Wewoka, heads up for you. It's lifting due north. So Holdenville, west side of Holdenville right now, and then shortly after that time, all around Wewoka and west of Wetumpka. So tornado warning for you, but it's got a debris loft with it and a strong signature. Nighttime tornadoes, dangerous tornadoes, lifting to the north, almost due north at around 40 to 45 miles an hour. Holdenville, literally in about 3 minutes. It's 10:37 right now. Holdenville at 10:40, and then 10:49 at Yeager, and that'll also be the Wewoka area as well. So dangerous situation for you. Don't take it lightly. Take your precautions. This is the real deal right here. So Holdenville, look at all that. Strong circulation here. Just on the west side of Spalding, right over Spalding, lifting due north. So Holdenville, West Holdenville, don't take it lightly. Real deal here. Looks like there's debris being lofted as well. So this is a tornado lifting north, and it's going to be in 2 minutes or so, the West Holdenville to Holdenville area exactly. And it's lofting debris right now. So dangerous situation for you over here in Hughes County, lifting to the north. Let's go back, Aaron, back over to the tornadoes that are back down over coming out of Murray County. And we'll take a closer look at these again. So ongoing tornado here. Oak Grove, remember this is where we had 3 debris signatures here at the same time. Let's look at the debris signatures. There's 1, and there's 2, and then potentially there's the 3rd one right there. So that one may be fluttering back down to earth as far as the debris is concerned. It's kind of diminishing and going away, but it sure looks like it plumed up and then went away. And then down here to the southwest of Vanasse, debris signature here, and a big debris signature right around Roth, and that cross confirms on the velocity data on the west side and the southwest side of Roth, showing a couplet there of a tornado vortex signature. So these are ongoing tornadoes here, so don't take it lightly. Dangerous situation, Pontotoc County. There's one there, and there's one here. There's 2 tornadoes right here, likely twin tornadoes on the ground, west side of Roth, and then also just to the west of that, lifting up into western Pontotoc County. There's Fitzhugh, and there's Ada right there. So don't take this lightly here, lifting to the north, Pontotoc County, lofting debris here. So dangerous situation, nighttime tornadoes do continue here. Let's go ahead and take a look here as we head on up to the north. So here's that signature down by Wewoka and Holdenville. We'll push on back into that and take a look and see what that one's doing. Okay, so here's Shamrock. Let's see if it's still lofting debris or not. Let's hope not. So it was Kendrick, and it went away. So it did go away. That's good. So you see that it was there at Kendrick, and then it just went away. That's the debris loft signature going away. So the debris fluttered back down to near Earth. And so that has gone away, but a tornado warning does continue. There's the circulation right there. So Drumright, heads up for Drumright right there. And then east of Agra, another circulation center there, heads up for Cushing. Heads up for Cushing. So Payne County, coming out of Lincoln County, heads up for Cushing. Circulation center there, and circulation center just east of that, heading up toward Drumright. So everybody in Drumright, everybody in Cushing should be in their tornado safe spot, away from windows, interior closet or bathroom, storm cellar or basement. Confirmed tornado, and it looked like it did cross the Turner with lofted debris occurring before the Turner and then across the Turner and then up into the Kendrick area, very close to Kendrick, maybe on the east side of Kendrick is where the debris loft was. We've lost the debris loft signature, which is good, but still tornado warnings ongoing here, and there goes that one, and it pretty much goes away, so that's good. Aaron, thank you. Doing a nice job here, helping to really paint this story. Very rapid, ongoing situation here. A lot of tornadoes on the ground with a lot of debris loft signatures. Let's go ahead and back on out here and take a look at the reflectivity. And notice Oklahoma County here is clear. Logan County is clear. Cleveland County is clear. McLean County, except for the far eastern panhandle, is clear. And Grady County is clear as well. And severe storms back down around Velma and Alma. and severe storms around Elmore City and Pauls Valley. A heavy rain, flooding rainfall, hail, and wind there. And we'll go ahead and push on in and take a look. We have several tornadoes on the ground down here. And this is coming out of the Sulphur area, very close to Roth. Confirmed debris signatures here, ongoing. It's like 2 circulation centers here. That's a tornado there. And this is a tornado here. So west side of Roth, and a little ways to the west of that, that's a significant, likely a significant tornado there. Let's go to the CCs, the debris loft signature, and see what that looks like. So there it is, brand new debris loft, yeah. So that came down, it's now lofting debris, so that's back on the ground. So Aaron, let's go ahead and push all the way in. So there's Roth, and maybe a little bit of leftover potentially on the west side of Roth of debris, potentially. Definitely a new debris loft right there, right where the TVS or tornado vortex signature is located. So that's going to be Pontotoc County, near Roth and west of Roth, lifting to the northeast. And so it's west of Fitzhugh and Fitztown and west of Ada. So it's up here by Hart, a little ways south of Hart. And then from there on up to, there's Ada right there. So the west side of Ada. So from between Stratford and Ada, you folks that live out here in the rural area, Vanoss area, Pontotoc County, know that these are lofting debris. They're confirmed and they're lofting debris. So if you're in a mobile home, that would not be safe in this type of situation. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows, storm cellar or basement. These are lofting debris tornadoes here confirmed on the ground. So west of Roth and a little ways farther to the west of Roth, due south of Stratford is where that is, lifting almost due northward, kind of northeastward at 40 miles per hour. So that's ongoing. We've got a little outbreak of tornadoes here definitely going on in Murray County, Pontotoc County, and Seminole counties, and over in Hughes County as well. So a mini outbreak of tornadoes here definitely ongoing. Tough to say how many there have been, but there have been quite a few tornadoes down here already, and they're ongoing. So Vanoss there, and over here as we head toward Pickett, and then over as we head up toward the river up there in southern Seminole counties, where that's heading near and to the west of Bing, and between Kanawha and Asher. Eventually is where that one is all heading right there. Pushing on into Holdenville, strong circulation there. That's the real deal, quite strong. And this is going to be on the west side of Holdenville, lifting basically due northward and lofting a whole bunch of debris. A really strong debris signature here. So everybody needs to take this so seriously and be where you're going to be safe. And just know that mobile homes will not be safe in this type of situation. Interior closet, bathroom, storm cellar, basement, your safe spot wherever that is. So let's go ahead and travel northward, Aaron, with that. That's a great big debris signature there. So between Yeager and Wewoka is where that's traveling. Due northward between Yeager and Wewoka, big debris loft signature. So this is Hughes County, western Hughes County, just to the west of Holdenville, but a big debris loft. That is actually debris. The radar sees the debris, so it's confirmed on the ground. It's not rain, it's not hail, it's debris.
So that's Twin Lakes right there, and if you switch to Tulsa, you can still kind of see it. It's not lined up exactly the same. And the Tulsa radar's further, but it's still there.
And the point that Aaron's making is that the Tulsa radar is a lot farther away. So if the Tulsa radar can see this, it's much higher in the sky where it sees it. And you can infer the strength of a tornado by how high in the atmosphere the debris gets lofted. And Tulsa can see this. It's right there. And that radar site's over at Inola, east of Tulsa. And you can calculate what the beam height is. And it's up there in like the 8 to 10,000 foot range. So, yeah, right there. Is that Inola still?
So this is Twin Lakes. I'll switch to Inola. So this is Twin Lakes right now.
Yeah, there's Twin Lakes.
Here's Inola, and you can see there's something there.
Yeah, downstream. You see it downstream right there. It's being blown by the jet stream winds. So that's it right there. And the radar beam is up at like 8,000 feet from Inola. So you start lofting debris 8,000 feet up, you can infer the strength of the tornado. And you start talking about up there past the EF1 range. You start getting up into the EF2 range and potentially higher than that. But that is just pretty much a scientific approximation that holds pretty true. So you're looking at significant tornadoes here, could be EF2 tornadoes at the very least, and looking at that velocity signature, could be more than that. So this is a life-threatening tornado here between Wewoka and Yeager, lifting due northward. So this is a life-threatening tornado just northwest of Holdenville, lifting due north. If you know anybody in this rural area between Wewoka and Yeager and west of Wetumpka and south of Cromwell, they have to be in their tornado safe spot. Could be EF2, could be stronger than EF2. It's lofting debris. It's fair to say many, many thousands of feet up in the sky. So this is a very significant tornado here, lifting due northward. There's your time of arrival. Again, they need to know about this because this is so dangerous at night. And it, just loosely speaking, it could easily be up there EF2 plus type tornado based on how high that debris is being lofted. You can see it being lofted all the way from Tulsa and the Tulsa radar, and that's a really strong tornado vortex signature right there. So this is going to be kind of rural sections over here of Hughes County. There's the debris ball continuing. Basically due north. It really plumed up there on the western sides of Holdenville. So you can make an automatic assumption that there is some type of tornado damage in through here, because that's what we're seeing.
There's Inola right there. Look at that. So
yeah,
there's
so this
Twin Lakes,
there's Twin Lakes.
Inola. This is Inola.
And there's Inola,
wow.
and it's a core. Yeah, so it's a core of debris. So from Inola, there's a core up there like 8,000 feet. Of debris. So you're talking about, with a core like that, you're talking about EF2 and stronger. I think that's a really fair assumption. And you're talking up there in the 130 to 140 to 150 mile per hour range on these tornadoes up there. You start getting up into the higher EF2 range. So there's Wewoka. So let's go ahead and push all the way in. And it's a real core of debris. I mean, it really is pulling up a lot of debris, and it's pulling it up really high, and it's a solid core of debris. So there's Wewoka, all the city streets in Wewoka here. You're only talking a few miles to the east of Wewoka and a little ways west of Yeager. It's pulling up a core, and Aaron's got the ruler out right there. It's 2.5 to 3 miles to the east of Wewoka, and it's pulling up a core of heavy, heavy debris. And based on how high up that is and the fact it's a core up at that level, it's a fair assumption it's an EF2 tornado or stronger, lifting due northward. This is the real deal. So anybody here along the highway here northbound, everybody along this highway northbound here, that's going to be exceptionally dangerous. Anybody on the highway here northbound out of Holdenville, incredibly dangerous all the way up here to Highway 9. All the way up along the highway to Highway 9, incredibly dangerous. Everybody here has to be in their safe spot that can withstand EF2 tornadoes or higher. Based on that debris ball right there, life-threatening tornado. So everybody here on this highway has to be in their safe spot. Mobile homes will get disintegrated with this because how high that's being lofted. It's fair to say EF2 tornado or stronger based on the debris loft. So very, very dangerous all the way up to Highway 9. Again, there is Wetumpka here, there's Wewoka here, there's Holdenville right there, lifting basically due northward through, this is northwestern Hughes County. It's a core of heavy debris. It's a very strong signature, a very strong punch of debris that it sees. And even from the radar east of Tulsa, which is up there at that 8,000 foot level, it's a strong core of debris. So it's really lofting and pulling it up inside that vortex really strongly. So everybody along the highway here, all the way up to Highway 9, they have to know about this. Very, very dangerous. Pretty much right there along and just to the east of the Seminole-Hughes County line and along the highway there, lifting to the north up to Highway 9. Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. So do take it to heart because this is a real deal here with a lot of lofting debris. So Pass that along to anybody you know. Call them, text them, do whatever. Pass it along to anybody you know there. South of Cromwell, so it's lifting on up north toward Cromwell. There's Okemah right there. So here's Fusky County here. And that's probably the strongest tornado ongoing in the state right now based on all that debris loft. So fair to say EF2 or stronger tornado here based on the debris loft. Just east of Wewoka, heading up toward and just east of Cromwell, very close to Cromwell, and then up toward Okemah, Fusky County. Take note, there's Interstate 40 right there, east-west. So nobody needs to be on I-40 in through here as that lifts to the north. Ongoing, damaging tornado, life-threatening tornado, lifting to the north. Cromwell area, 1106, it's 10:52 right now. So that's going to be 14 minutes from now. And then Okemah at 11:13, that's going to be 22 minutes from right now. Okemah, 22 minutes from right now. And then the Castle Boley area, around 24 minutes from right now, up in Fusky County. Life-threatening. Likely a strong tornado, could be a violent tornado in terms of EF scale. A lot of debris loft, very high in the sky, very strong core debris, confirmed, no doubt about it. It is the real deal. Folks have got to take their precautions to save their lives or injury. It's exactly what's going on right now in northwestern Hughes County. West of Wetumpka and northeast of Wewoka, just barely, and just to the south of Cromwell. Powerful signature here. Very hot reds, very hot greens together, basically lifting due north right on the highway. And you see the core of debris lifting up along the highway. Here's Highway 9 running east-west. So it's approaching Highway 9. And the folks, of course, live along these highways, right? So they've got to be in their safe spot. Make sure they know. Real deal here. Night lifting to the north. Powerful, pretty good sized tornado. Is that Inola again?
That's Inola now.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, so again, we're now up at 8,000 feet or so, and there's just a big time core of debris right there from Inola, which is east of Tulsa, shooting back down to the southwest. And that beams up pretty high from all the way in Inola. Inola's over there to the southeast of Claremore. It's quite a ways over there, and that's a big debris signature. So EF2 or stronger is in the books based on this. This is a really heavy loft, big heavy loft, right on the highway. So Aaron, let's take a look what's going on here by Yeager. So it's interesting here, isn't it? So it looks like you may have what we call centrifuging debris. So let's go back to the CCs again. And there's like a debris signature kind of fanning out here, like along the gust front of the tornado. That could be debris fluttering back down to earth. We call this centrifuging debris. And when we show you tornadoes during the day, and we can see them like from the chopper, for example, you can see things like this happening. May 20th and more would be a case where we saw centrifuging debris, and May 3rd and things like that. It looks like there's centrifuging debris, and notice there's a donut hole or an eye. So fair to say EF2 could be stronger really easily. Don't want to overestimate what it is, but EF2 or higher with a real potential of EF3 and more. A lot of centrifuging debris coming back down, fluttering back down to earth on the front flank of the circulation, which is not what you want to see. All this coming back down right here, big core debris in the tornado itself. That's the tornado right there on the highway, now approaching Highway 9. So this is going to be due north of Holdenville, life-threatening situation right here. You hate to see this at night, especially. Let's hope everybody gets the message and they know that it's coming, because this is Highway 9 on the highway here, lifting almost due north, lots of debris way up high and centrifuging back down, indicating a big debris swath with it. We're seeing all this on radar, and that's exactly what's happening. There's just no doubt about it. Centrifuging debris, this is all fluttering back down to earth here on the front flank of the tornado, all the way back down to southwest of Yeager. That's all coming back down to earth right there. That's the tornado right there. So lifting due northward. So let's go on up into Fusky County here. So heads up for Cromwell, probably goes east of Cromwell. Okemah, heads up for you. Heads up for Okemah, pretty much red line, center line for Okemah. Ongoing damaging, life-threatening tornado, northwestern Hughes County, lifting up toward Okemah. So now Highway 9 at the highway, lifting up toward Okemah, life-threatening situation. Nobody should be on I-40 out here either side of Okemah. It's going to be crossing, if it doesn't lift, crossing I-40 in Okfuskee County in about 19 to 20 minutes from right now. It's 10:56, so 11:15 or so. If it doesn't lift, it's going to be crossing Interstate 40 around Okemah. Aaron doing a nice job here helping to paint this picture. So there's your time of arrival. Cromwell, Okemah there at 11:16, so just under 20 minutes. And then Castle and Boley and IXL there north of Okemah at 11:24. Ongoing, life-threatening, powerful, big debris lofting tornado here. This is the strongest one in the state right now. Serious situation for you folks over here coming out of Hughes County, heading into Okfuskee County with lofting debris. Let's go ahead and take a quick look elsewhere, Aaron. So again, stay with that. It's not going to go away immediately. It's now at Highway 9. It's right there at Highway 9. Look at the big hook there right there. Great big hook on it with a debris ball. That's a debris ball signature right there. Had an eye on it earlier, and that's a big open wave hook there. That's a powerful, powerful tornado. EF2 plus, and EF2 is likely conservative, heading due northward toward Okemah. So Okemah heads up. Everybody east of Cromwell heads up. Very close to Cromwell, heads up. Real deal, life-threatening, no doubt about it. It's happening right now. Let's go back over to these other systems that we have back down to the southwest, and ongoing tornadoes here in the Murray County area and coming out of Carter County as well. There's a circulation center east of Springer coming out of northeastern Carter County. That's pretty strong there. Just came over Gene Autry. Here. So there are a lot of tornadoes. Tornado outbreak is in progress right now in our state. So big area of rotation there. Just northeast of Gene Autry, lifting to the north-northeast. So damaging tornado confirmed, and somewhat of an indication there of a debris ball as well. Very close to Gene Autry, down here in sections of Carter County, heading into eastern Murray County. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Some areas of some weaker rotation there just east of Davis. It doesn't appear to be too threatening at this moment in time. Looks like a area here of rotation near Pickett, and this is going to be just to the west of Ada. That's the ongoing damaging tornado there that had the debris loft back down near south of Vanoss and Hart, and the circulation now between Vanoss and Pickett. So Pickett is to the west of Ada, lifting to the north-northeast, and rotation there just past between Drumright and Cushing. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado warning attached to it. So now Oilton is where that is. And let's see if we had any intermittent debris signatures, Aaron, with that. And nothing really conclusive right there. Maybe some hint, but nothing really conclusive on debris there. But the mesocyclone there, very close to Oilton. And it just tracked between Drumright and Cushing, lifting up toward Jennings and Tarleton, and on up toward Hallett, the Motor Speedway up at Hallett. This is up in Pawnee County. That's where that one's tracking. Ongoing tornado warning there. It looks to be near or on the west side of Oilton. Jennings, Hallett is where that is tracking right now. And a lot of damaging wind in here as well, all along that green area there, Payne County, over into Northern Creek County, heading into Pawnee County. Quite a bit of damaging winds in through there. Really high velocity winds coming through the Bristow area right now. Bristow, a lot of high velocity winds. So here's this ongoing situation in northern Hughes County. Let's go over to the CCs here and take a look. And still velocity signature showing a CC signature as well. And Aaron, it looks like it's weakened just a little bit in the past.